Jeopardy! Let's meet today's contestants. A PhD student in marketing from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Eric Dolansky. A geology student originally from Elmont, New York, Amy Cash. And our returning champion, a writer from Bozeman, Montana, Keith Suta, whose one-day cash winnings total $15,000. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thanks, Johnny. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Another week of answers and questions. Amy and Eric, good to have you with us today. Good luck to you as we put you to work now in the Jeopardy round, the easier round of play, which today has these categories. Check them out. We start off with animals. We follow that with sports stuff. Get your facts straight. We have 5 rhymes. Each correct response will rhyme with the word 5. Then we have I love the nightlife. I got to boogie. Keith, start us.
I got to boogie for 200.
Jailed after the Jacobite rebellion, the Earl of Nithsdale escaped from this landmark dressed as a woman. Eric.
What is the Bastille?
No. Amy.
What is the Tower of London?
Tower of London, yes.
Boogie
Jacobite,
for 400.
not Jacobin. Amy?
Boogie for 400, please.
Famous for escaping marriages, this libertine was jailed in 1755, but escaped a Venetian prison. Amy?
Who's Don Juan?
No. Keith?
Who is Casanova?
Yes, Giovanni Casanova.
I got to boogie for 600.
Peter Strelzik and Gunther Wetzel flew their families out of East Germany using this homemade device. Amy?
What is a balloon?
Yes, a hot air balloon.
Nightlife for 200, please.
The only sure bet for things you can't do at night in this city is get a sunburn. Eric?
What is Las Vegas?
Right, you're out of the hole.
Yeah. 5 rhymes for 200, please.
Honeycomb home. Keith?
What is hive?
Yes.
5 rhymes for 400.
A dirty, shabby bar. Keith?
What is a dive?
That's it.
5 rhymes, 600.
Herb with a strong onion flavor. Eric?
What is chive?
Yes.
5 rhymes for 800, please.
To grow vigorous and healthy. Amy?
What is to thrive?
Yes.
Rhymes for 1,000.
In Tennyson, it precedes to seek, to find, and not to yield. Keith?
What is strive?
That's it.
I love the nightlife, 400.
While on a late night stroll, window shop or stop at a cafe along the boulevards of this city. Amy?
What is Paris?
You got it.
Nightlife, 600.
Grab a quick pork chop sandwich or dine at some trendy spots in the South Loop in this city. Keith?
What is Chicago?
Right.
I love the nightlife, 800.
Buy clothes, get your fortune told, or hear Cantonese opera singers at this Asian area's Temple Street Market. And you are looking at Hong Kong. Keith, back to you.
I got to boogie for 800. Please.
Answer. Daily double. I wondered when somebody would go back to that category. You have a $1,000 lead.
Let's bet 1,000.
All right, here's the clue. When Chinese troops invaded in 1959, this leader escaped through a Himalayan mountain pass.
Who is the Dalai Lama?
That's correct. 3,600.
I got to boogie for 1,000.
This author famously escaped the firestorm from the bombing of Dresden by hiding in a slaughterhouse. Eric?
Who is Kurt Vonnegut?
Yes.
I love the nightlife for 1,000, please.
The Goethe House closes early in this city am Main, but the yearly book fair has late-night conferences. Amy?
What is Frankfurt?
Frankfurt am Main. Yes.
Facts.
And hang on just a sec. We've done 3 categories, and that's where our director likes to pause for our first commercial. So that's what we're going to do. Eric Dolansky is from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. He is a PhD student in marketing, but he has had a number of jobs, and he once worked at a movie theater and refused entry to an Oscar-winning actor. Who was the actor?
Oh, I really don't want to name names, but if you insist. F. Murray Abraham.
Oh,
who won for Amadeus.
Yes.
He came by the theater late one night, and our computer systems were such that after past 30 minutes past the starting time of the film, you couldn't sell a ticket for the film. And so he came too late, and I really wanted to accommodate him. He promised he'd come back, but he never did.
Ah, okay. That'll teach him. Amy Cash, originally from Elmont, New York, a part-time test prep teacher. What kind of tests are we talking about? The SATs, things like
The
that?
LSAT and GRE.
What's the toughest part of the tests?
Well, most people think it's the logic games, but I actually found those pretty easy. I think the reading comprehension is actually the most difficult.
And has that changed over the years? Are our kids now doing worse in that part of the test because they don't read as much? They're so involved in video games, watching television?
It could be. I think they mostly have trouble with it because the passages are so long and they like to hide maybe 5 nuggets of information you actually need in a very long paragraph.
They're trying to trick the kids.
Basically, yes.
I don't like that. I'm not in favor of tricking our kids. Keith Suda is our champion. He's from Bozeman, Montana.
Yep.
You and your dad went to visit the Library of Congress,
Yes.
and one of you didn't get in.
Yes.
Why?
They were closed for a construction, so the main entrance was closed. And I and a friend had wandered around to the back and found a back entrance, kind of walked right through security. And when my father and our school chaperone kind of caught up, well after we had gone inside, they were turned away. And when asked, well, did you see 2 high school kids come in here? They're like, oh, no, sir. No high school kids would be in here at all. And so we kind of missed our rendezvous and we're stranded in Washington, D.C.
So much for security at our important government buildings. Amy, you have command of the board right now. You make a selection from
All
the
right.
3 remaining categories.
Get your facts straight for 200.
Raman is a noodle. The Ramayana is an epic poem of India composed in this ancient language. Amy.
What is Sanskrit?
Yes.
Facts for 400.
Everwood is the WB family drama. This is the at HBO Old West drama. Keith.
What is Deadwood?
Correct.
Get your facts straight for 600.
Byron Nelson won the PGA Championship in 1945. This Nelson helped win the Battle of Cape St. Vincent in 1797. Amy.
Who is Admiral Nelson?
Yes.
Facts for 800.
A gazelle is a graceful animal. This 1841 ballet has been called the Hamlet of the dance. Amy.
What is Swan Lake?
No. Eric.
What is Giselle?
Giselle, yes, a gazelle. Giselle, go.
Sports stuff for 200, please.
To reduce drag and increase distance and accuracy, a golf ball has many of these cute little depressions. Eric.
What are dimples?
That's it.
Sports stuff 400, please.
Varieties of this sport include major fast pitch and major slow pitch. Eric.
What is softball?
Yes.
Stuff for 600, please.
Held annually in Akron, Ohio since 1935, this competition takes place in stock, super stock, and masters divisions. Amy.
What is the Soapbox Derby?
Correct.
Facts for 1,000.
Fort Dix is an Army Reserve training center. This Dix was a social reformer in the 1840s. Amy.
Who is Dorothea Dix?
You are right.
Sports for 800.
In 1981, soccer's first Toyota Cup was held in this world capital between the champion clubs of Europe and South America. And that would, the Toyota Cup, Tokyo. Amy, back to you.
Animals 200.
On the squirrel monkey of South America, this may be 16 inches long. Eric.
What is the tail?
You are right, less than a minute now.
Stuff for 1,000, please.
In the mid-1940s, Army had 2 Heisman winners in its backfield, Glenn Davis and this physician of the gridiron. And that individual was Doc Blanchard. Back to you, Eric.
Animals 400, please.
Animal that was the main staple of the Plains Indians' economy. Amy.
What's buffalo?
Right.
Animals 600.
The bulls of this tusked aquatic mammal, also known as the morse, may weigh over 3,000 pounds. Keith.
What is the walrus?
You got it.
Animals for 1,000.
This handsome imperiled type of owl seen here has northern, Californian, and Mexican subspecies. Keith.
What is the spotted owl?
You are right. And now, the $800 clue. While on safari in Africa, your guide may point out a dik-dik, a small one of these animals. And they are so cute and are only about this size. It's an antelope, little antelope. All right, we have our champion in the lead with $5,600. Amy next at $4,600. Eric will get to select first in Double Jeopardy. He's not trailing by all that much. Could be exciting. Stay with us. I love the way this game is going. All three players off to a good start. Eric, you pick first from these categories in this Double Jeopardy round. It's Canada, eh? AFI's top 100 movie quotes. You have to name the film each quote is taken from. We'll deal with menswear. You'll get a C in Shakespeare, each correct response beginning with that letter. You can bank on it. And finally, before and after. Eric, start us.
Got to start with Canada, Alex. For 400, please.
Canada celebrates Thanksgiving on the second Monday of this month, on the same day as our Columbus Day. Eric.
What is October?
That's it.
Canada 8, please.
If you're sending a love letter to your Canadian sweetie and put SK on the envelope, she lives in this province. Keith.
What is Saskatchewan?
Right.
AFI's top 100 movie quotes for 400.
Number 12. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Amy.
What is Apocalypse Now?
Correct.
Movie
Smells like
quotes,
victory.
800.
Number 56. A boy's best friend is his mother. Amy.
What is Psycho?
Yes.
AFI for 1200.
Number 36. Badges? We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges. Amy.
What's the treasure of the Sierra Madre?
Yes.
AFI for 1600.
Number 27. I'm walking here. I'm walking here. Keith.
What is Midnight Cowboy?
Right.
Movie quotes for 2000.
Number 77. This is people. Keith.
What is Soylent Green?
You are correct.
C in Shakespeare for 400.
In Romeo and Juliet, Juliet's mother is known as Lady This. Keith.
What is Capulet?
Correct.
Shakespeare for 800.
Most of Othello is set on this island that was part of the Ottoman Empire when the play was written. And that would be the island of Cyprus. Keith, go again.
Shakespeare for 1200.
Sounds corny, but in King Lear, Regan is married to the Duke of this place. Eric.
What is Cornwall?
That's it.
It's Canada A for 1200, please.
In 1911, the United States and Canada signed a convention to give protection to these northern fur critters. Eric.
What are seals?
That's it.
Canada 1600, please.
Answer. One of the daily doubles. You are within range of first place.
I'll wager $4,000, please.
All right, that'll put you very close if you are correct on this clue. The Big Bay between Canada and Greenland was discovered by and named for this Englishman.
Who is Baffin?
William Baffin is right. Thought you might go for Hudson instead. Well done.
Finish out the category for 2000, please.
The name of this peninsula in southeastern Quebec might come from a Micmac Indian word meaning land's end. Eric.
What is Gaspé?
Gaspé is right, yes.
See in Shakespeare for 1600, please.
Act 1, Scene 7 of this play takes place at the gates of Coriolis. Eric.
What is Coriolanus?
Correct.
See in Shakespeare for 2000, please.
Shaw wrote a new Act 5 for the play about this title king of Britain and staged it as a play by itself. And that would be Cymbeline. Eric, back to you.
Before and after for 400, please.
Caped crusaders hook up with lifestyles of the rich and famous host to become this crime-fighting duo. Amy.
What is Batman and Robin Leach?
Yes.
Before and after 800.
Roll up for this Beatles album that's a prestigious French cycling race. Eric.
What is Magical Mystery Tour de France?
Yes.
Before and after for 1200, please.
Presidential assassin who won acclaim for the novels The Magnificent Ambersons and Alice Adams. Amy.
Who is John Wilkes Booth Tarkington?
Yes.
Before and after 1600.
Dystopian novel in which teenage killer Alex leads his gang to drink a certain kind of black tea grown in India. Keith.
What is A Clockwork Orange Pico?
Yes.
Before and after for 2000.
Nez Perce leader who became a prized newspaper publisher. Amy.
Who is Chief Joseph Pulitzer?
You got it.
Bank on it 400.
Making a jumbo one of these can be risky. Banks have reserves to cover losses on bad ones. Eric.
What is a loan?
That's right.
Bank for 800, please.
A 1987 law says you can only sign for this purpose on the top 1.5 inches of the back of a check. Keith,
What is cashing?
be
The
more
check-
specific.
It
No?
is,
Oh, Amy or Eric? Eric?
What is depositing?
No? Amy?
What is to endorse it?
Endorse it. Yes, that's what we're going for.
Bank for 1,200, please.
This word for a bank officer in charge of assets can also mean to fire. What is cashier? I got cashiered. Amy?
Bank for 1,600.
In its pursuit of assets, this historic banking name is now combined with the name of J.P. Morgan. Amy?
What is monopoly?
No? Keith?
What is Chase?
Chase, indeed. Yes.
Bank for 2,000.
These numbers, which allow the U.S. to process 40 billion checks a year, are part of a 50-year-old system called MICR, or Magnetic Ink This.
Keith?
What is check recognition?
No. Amy?
What is check routing?
No. Eric doesn't want to ring in to try to come up with character recognition. Less than a minute now, Keith.
Menswear for 800.
Tradition says a cummerbund's pleats face up to hold theater tickets or falling these at a banquet. Eric?
What are crumbs?
That's right.
Menswear 1,200, please.
Answer. Daily double. The second one. And how much money are we going to risk on this daily double?
I'd like to risk $2,200, please.
All right, for an even 17,000. Here's the clue. Though it had the name of a woman from an 1882 play, this hat with a front-to-back crease became popular for men.
What is fedora?
Fedora is right. 17,000 your total. Go again.
Menswear 1,600, please.
First popular in the 1920s, Oxford bags are a type of these. Types of pants. 2 clues left on the board, Eric.
I'll go menswear for 2,000, please.
The full name of a pattern includes Urquhart, but it's usually just called this plaid, a Scottish word for a valley. You know it, I'm sure. Glen plaid? Glen plaid. All right, now the $400 clue. It can also be called a waistcoat or waistcoat, but usually not if it's the down type. Eric?
What is a vest?
Vest, yes. And that takes you to 17,400. You've added to your lead. We have Amy at 7,800 and Keith with 10,800. And here comes Final Jeopardy. 20th Century American. Back in a moment with the clue.
Universal Pictures presents The Breakup.
She broke your heart and you're devastated. Now, what's the name of the guy she's doing? I'm going to solve your problem. What's his name?
What are you talking about?
Have you checked her email?
Why in the world would I check her email?
Okay, they sell a program. It records keystrokes. It costs like $20. Very easy to use. You get a password, you check her email. You find out everything about her. That's how I found out about the Puerto Rican that Stacy was running around with.
The Breakup.
You're out of your mind. You're reading way too much into the
Maybe
situation.
she's not, maybe she is. I don't know. I'm not Columbo.
Starts Friday.
Final Jeopardy today has to do with 20th Century Americans, and here is the clue. Encouraged by Robert F. Kennedy to seek public office, he left the Marines as a colonel in 1965 and won a Senate seat 9 years later. 30 seconds. Good luck. Amy Cash, we'll start with you and find out if you are going to add to your cash total. You put down who is Glenn, Colonel John Glenn. You are right. You double your score to 15,600, and we go to Keith Suda, our champ. 10-8 going in. Edward Kennedy. Nope. That'll cost you 5,000, dropping you to 5,800 as we come to Eric Dolansky, the man from Canada who was leading for most of the game. He came up with the correct response. He will be the new champion with how much money? 4,201 more for a total of 21,601 U.S. And you get to come back. Hope you can join us next time. So long.
Promotional consideration provided by...